Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's a new week. We're in the first week of September, and we're here to tell you all the news you might have missed over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of news happening, a lot of big stories, small stories, and little bitsies of information that are fun to hear about. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 15 minutes before we've started. We've just got some caffeine. We're learning to read live on stream. So let's get into today's headlines. Today on Mucking Fonday, Finland will finally remove swastikas from the flag of its air force after awkward situations. And the thousands of Redhead celebrate their strands at a festival in the Netherlands. I missed it again.
No, not that. Happy Mucking Fonday. In the United States, a judge allows families of 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia.
Ukraine arrests suspect in former parliamentary speaker's murder. And Brussels blames Russia for interference attack on von der Leyen's plane. Uh-oh, Cold War again?
And in Mexico, the Mexican government struggles with invaders of their largest biosphere.
In my culture news, more important than a Michelin star, Lithuanian chef named best sushi master in Japan.
Yes, and it's like 8 different things today. Among other things, it is National Forgiveness Day. Yeah, forgive me for any mistakes I make today. It is September 1st, Labor Day. September 1st, 2025 on Before Coffee.
Eight things? Wow, we've got all the days today.
I was wondering why it was not Labor Day, and then I clicked on the one that said see more, and 3 more days popped up. That's crazy.
They're always hiding some days. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It is weird. I don't know why you get that, because when I go on this day, National Day calendar, it never makes me press see more. I just keep scrolling.
Oh, well, you get a different version of it. And you don't see more.
I still get the US one. I don't think there's one for Europe. Or the Netherlands. I don't think there's a National Day calendar for a singular country in Europe.
You get a differently encoded version of it, maybe.
Yeah, I get the one where they don't steal all my data, I guess. I got that European protection.
That's right. You're going incognito to their site somehow. Okay. Doesn't matter. Right. Hack me. What are they going to do? Steal my useless shit I got? I don't know.
Well, I'm very happy to celebrate burnt ends. You know, my favorite thing.
$22
is
I'm gonna go to
eating that carbon at the end of the food. Okay, let's roll our segue wheel.
God.
So we know what the hell to say in between our stories.
Burnt end. The secret to the burnt end is to scrape off the charred parts and then eat the rest, because the rest of it releases all them tastiness.
Yeah, you don't want to eat. Supposedly, it causes cancer. That's what they say. Our segue is going to be a hypothetical. So you're going to have to come up with a theory, a story, a conspiracy, whatever you want.
Oh, okay. I'll be here.
About Finland removing its swastikas from its flags in the Air Force, which, awkward is kind of an understatement there. This is by Jamie Keaton on The Independent. Finland's Air Force is phasing out the use of swastikas as some of its flags, a decision largely driven by awkwardness it creates with its Western allies. While the swastika is an ancient symbol, these ones are not swastikas, actually. I just want to clarify, we're calling them swastikas, but they're not swastikas. Swastikas are always on a 45 or 25 degree angle, okay? That's a swastika. These ones are perpendicular, which is the Buddhist symbol for unity, and basically Nazis ruin everything, and now that entire symbol itself is banned from human lexicon, even though it's not the same signal. But we're too stupid to recognize angles. Not everyone passes geometry. So, sadly, even though it's an ancient symbol, its modern association is overwhelmingly with Nazi tyranny and hate groups. However, the Finnish Air Force began using it many years ago before the birth of Nazi Germany, making its historical context or nuanced. Changes have been underway for years. A swastika logo was quietly pulled from Air Force Command Unit emblems some time ago, yet their continued presence on certain Finnish Air Force flags has raised eyebrows among NATO allies. Americans, probably. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists and other foreigners who spot them at military events. British people, maybe too. I don't know. There's a lot of stupid tourists. That's for sure. Americans and British people definitely are, neck and neck and being stupid tourists. Why aren't you speaking English? You're in Italy. Why would we speak English here? We could have continued with this flag, but sometimes awkward situation can arise with foreign visitors. It may be wise to live with the times. Colonel Tommy Bohm, the new head of the Karelia Air Wing Air Defense Force, was quoted as saying in a report last Thursday, what day was Thursday? The 25th of August, by public broadcaster YLE. The Defense Forces, in an email to the Associated Press, said on the 26th of August, on Friday, the plan to renew the Air Force unit flag was launched in 23, the year Finland joined NATO, but said it was not linked to joining the alliance. Aim it was to update symbolism and emblems of the flags to better reflect the current identity of the Air Force. It referred to an article in Daily Helsingin Sanomat on Friday, the 26th, which said the reason for the removal was a perception that the swastika had been an embarrassing symbol in international context. Finland, which shares a long border with Russia, joined NATO in April 23 over concerns related to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Tievo Tievanen, a professor of world politics at the University of Helsinki, said the flags in question were introduced in the 1950s and today are flown by 4 Air Force units. Air Force and Finnish public generally had for years insisted the swastikas used in Finland's Air Force have nothing to do with the Nazi swastika. But they don't have to. It's true. They're not the same symbol. There's it's like pentagrams, right? A star is a star. You flip it upside down, it's a pentagram, right? We understand that association. Right, yeah. They're different symbols. But for some reason, if you just tilt it a little bit, same symbol. Same symbol.
Ah, man.
Tievanen, who this month had a book published whose Finnish title translates as History of the Swastika, but now following Finland's integration with NATO, policymakers have decided there's now a need to get more integrated with the forces of countries like Germany, the Netherlands, France, countries where the swastika is clearly a negative symbol, he said. Tievanen said in 21 German Air Force units bowed out of a final ceremony following exercises at the Netherlands Lapland region after learning that the Finnish swastika would be on display. Well, that's more like we cannot be seen in a room with that symbol as Germans, right? Like we cannot be seen in a room. Sorry. So I guess if that's interrupting joint military exercises, that's probably we're stupid, right? Humans are stupid. Finland's Air Force adopted the swastika emblem in 1918, soon after the country gained its independence after a century of Imperial Russian rule. Count Erich von Rose of neighboring Sweden donated Finland's first military plane in 1918, which bore his personal symbol. It's not the swastika, but we keep calling it the swastika. But I'm serious. I don't know what it's originally called, but it's specifically the Buddhist symbol, not the swastika symbol. But this article keeps on calling it a swastika when they aren't. Same thing. Anyways. The Finnish Air Force soon after adopted a blue one on a white background as the national insignia on its planes from 1918 to 45. After the war, the imagery remained for decades on some Air Force units, flags, and decorations, as well as insignia on the Air Force Academy. That doesn't mean there is no Nazi connection at all. Von Rosen, an upper-class explorer and ethnographer, also known as a racist, I'm going to put all the humans into little boxes and determine how smart they are. You're more African because you have an eyebrow. Us pure-raced Europeans don't have eyebrows. We shave them off. Was the brother-in-law of Hermann Göring, a decorated World War I German fighter pilot who became an early Nazi party member. Göring went on to lead Germany's Luftwaffe during World War II under
Pronounced
Hitler.
Göring.
Not good. That's not
Pronounced
good.
Göring.
Well,
Hermann
actually, it's
Göring
Göring because it's
not
German.
Göring.
So,
well, that's what everybody always calls
well,
them.
they don't know German. I mean, let's not talk about how Americans think Deutsch and Dutch are the same word. Okay. Anyways, the Finnish Air Force stressed that the use of the symbol had no connection to Nazi Germany, although Finland entered into a reluctant alliance with the Third Reich for two, because they were always, the problem with Finland is they're always fighting against Russia. So if somebody's fighting against Russia, they'll take their side, because fuck Russia. And sadly, that is what happened, right? Germany fighting against, they first made an alliance with Russia and then later fought Russia, and Finland's like, we're fighting Russia, let's go. Let's shoot some Russians.
Yeah. Well, right, they took Germany's side for sure.
New flags featuring an eagle will be published. I mean, eagles also have a, sadly, Nazi affiliation, so you just can't win here. Will be published when the work has been completed and the flags are introduced to be used for events like parades and local ceremonies, the Defense Forces said, without saying when that would happen. The traditional von Rosen swastika emblem, in use since 1918, has already been removed from most Air Force emblems during earlier reforms. So its removal from the unit flags is a logical continuation of this work, the emailed statement said. And the image, which I think I can share with you right real quick. Or maybe I can't. I can't share it with you.
Maybe, probably not.
But the image is, just imagine a bunch, like, what is this? 6 wings around a circle with a yellow eagle in the middle. And I guess the wings are supposed to indicate Air Force, and then there's a little hat on top. It's definitely something. Anyways, I know that story was longer than I got into a bit of segues, not segues, tangents there, but that's my first story. The other one is way shorter.
A little bit of a tangent. A hypothetical. Wouldn't it be interesting if actually Finland was actually, they did, I was looking this up, they actually paid reparations to the Soviet Union because they fought on the side of Nazi Germany. At least the official Finland government aligned itself.
Everyone who lost World War II had to pay reparations and pay for the debt, the war debt of every other country.
Right, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, so even Finland, even though ancillary, but the Soviet Union tried to invade during the early stages of World War II, but it failed. So I don't know why I don't know why Finland would try to pay reparations to the Soviet Union when the Soviet Union invaded them in 1939. But hey,
before the war broke out, basically.
Yeah, it's when the Soviet Union said to Russia with a nod and a wink, "You take Poland, we'll take Finland," and they couldn't take Finland. So probably is what happened there.
And then Germany was like, well, you're going to hold us out of the deal, so now we're going to invade you. I guess that's what happened there.
Yeah, hypothetically, now, if the Soviet Union would have won that war, what would the map look like now? That would have been Soviet Union under the Stalin regime until, the 50s.
Because if I remember correctly, Finland was never part of the Soviet Union after World War II.
No, right? It was never. It was invaded in a difficult terrain.
The Iron Wall.
Difficult terrain and strong defenses. Yeah, the difficult terrain and strong defenses managed to defend their country.
European history. Iron Wall, I said.
They lost territory. They lost territory to the Soviet Union, though. All right, so next story.
Yep, my shorter story is some positive news about saying fuck you to... No, I don't think it's saying fuck you to anybody, but we're going to celebrate Redheads. That's right, thousands of Redheads met up during the weekend in the Netherlands to celebrate their locks. This is by Molly Quayle, coming out of Tilburg. The southern Dutch city of Tilburg is seeing more color than usual, and thousands of redheads from all over the world gathered in the Netherlands for a once-in-a-year festival to celebrate the flaming locks. 2025 edition of Redhead Days festival with music, food trucks, and workshops tailored to particular needs of redheads, including wearing sunscreen, because if nothing burns like a redhead, okay? From makeup explainers to skincare, cancer prevention.
Wear a hat.
Organizers expected the 3-day event to draw several thousand attendees from 80 countries. Wait, when was this article posted? Maybe it's happening this week. No, it definitely is happening. It happened last week. This was posted on 31st. They're not telling me when it was. It's kind of confusing.
There'll probably be something in the article.
Yeah, I think Sunday. They said it was a 3-day thing, so maybe it started on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it ended on Sunday, I think. But they're talking in future.
Yeah, bank holiday.
Yeah.
Today's probably a bank holiday, right?
I think it's already happened. It's definitely already happened. Organizers expected the 3-day event to draw several thousand attendees from some 80 countries. Alanda Bakker, a Dutch festival veteran of 15 years, played cards with a group of red-headed friends from across the world who met together every year at the festival. I came out of curiosity mostly, just to see what it would be like to not stand out in the crowd, said Bakker, 29. It was really an interesting first experience, and I just keep coming 31st. Because I met some really nice friends here. Magician Daniel Hank traveled 6 hours from Germany to join the festivities, now proud to flaunt his hair that made him the target of bullying when younger. I think it's really easy to recognize me because there are not many people with red beard, there are not many guys with long red hair, he said. The festival was free and open to all, with the exception of a group photo on Sunday. That event is restricted to natural redheads. Oh no! Not blood quantuming redheads. Your hair is more of a strawberry blonde. You're not allowed to be in the group photo. You have to be a natural full redhead. Your hair is more brown on amber.
Eugenics strikes again.
The 2013 edition set a Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of people with natural red hair, with 1,672 people posing for the group photo. The tradition emerged 2 decades ago when Dutch artist Bart Wouwenhorst put out a call for 15 red-haired models for an art project in a local newspaper. He got 10 times the response! He was expecting and brought the group together for a photo. The project got so much attention, Wouwenhorst organized a similar meetup the following year and has continued to oversee the festival as it expanded into a multi-day event. The festival was really amazing because all the people, they resemble each other and they feel like it's family, he said. So I hope put that on your calendar for next year. The last week of August, the last weekend of August, is the celebration of redheads, and you can go there next year and meet up with all the other people. Even meet up with the people who aren't natural redheads and just love having red hair, because I know that was a huge trend in the early 2000s. Everyone dyeing their hair red.
Right.
I don't know who to blame, Haley Williams, but somebody caused that trend.
Well, I'm definitely a redhead because, a hypothetical would be like, kind of like, did we actually understand how redheads' hair actually functions? Because I was a redhead. If you look at my high school graduation picture, I have red hair.
Pretty red there.
And I was told that by another redhead who was in her 70s and still had red hair, said, red hair never turns gray. And I said, well, my red hair turned gray. What the hell happened? So I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Red hair contains pheomelanin, a pigment that fades to a coppery blonde or silvery white, then gray. Hello, coppery white, silvery. That's what I got.
You're pretty silvery.
So
you
I'm
got
a
some
redhead.
great reflex there.
Yeah, and my hair looks yellow at certain times, right?
Well,
like
that's
certain
just
light, because I've got still red hair.
That's just what happens.
I can pull red hair out of my scalp.
Just like how you turn yellow, hair can turn yellow. So.
So I've got red and I've got silver, and sometimes it looks yellow in the tint of the light.
If you wash, you can probably wash your hair once a month with some purple shampoo, like they use for horses, to get the yellow out. That's what you do. Yeah, it tones your hair because purple cancels There's your hair advice for me. As somebody who doesn't have silver hair or red hair, there's your advice. I'm almost completely indifferent to my hair for most of my life, so it's just like I'm not going to cut. I Grecian formula a little bit when I was younger, going I'm too young to go gray, and it just turned it more of a I would say a yellowish tint than anything else. But I'm getting gray hairs too.
There we are.
I think Mom also went gray pretty young. So.
Oh, she dyes her hair every 15 minutes.
Yeah, she dyes her hair all the time. So but I'm saying I don't know when she started going gray, because I think as soon as she saw 2 pieces, she started dyeing her hair, which I don't have any issue with going. Maybe because I grew up with you.
Gray.
I don't mind going gray. Yeah. Anyways, that's our 2 stories.
Pheomelanin. You have that pheomelanin in your green somewhere.
Gray hair. I'm proud of my gray hair. I like getting older because, sadly, as a woman, I get more respect when I get old, instead of being treated like a sex object all the time.
And I am of the opinion that redheads dye their hair when they get to a certain age. Just to, you know what I'm saying? Because you see, like, that's not a natural color of red. There's no way.
There are some people whose entire identity is being red-haired. Yeah, so they keep dyeing it to make sure they don't lose it.
Yep.
Our next segue is a simile or accurate metaphor.
Accurate metaphor. All right. What are we doing?
Story.
We're going to talk about... Right. We're going to talk about 9/11 victims of Saudi Arabia as we fought two of the wrong countries over 9/11. CBSNews.com has story Jacob Rosen and Joe Walsh, not the guitar player. I don't think. Could be Joe Walsh. Could be doing Rocky Mountain Way in the background. Maybe we'll play that little Rocky Mountain Way. Anyway, Jake Rosen is the name of the main reporter. This is about the 9/11 lawsuit. It says, let me get to the start of the story. A federal judge in New York denied a motion by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to dismiss a lawsuit brought by families of 9/11 victims who were seeking to hold the Middle Eastern country responsible for potentially providing support to the hijackers, allowing this suit to proceed. The ruling is the latest in a long-running lawsuit seeking to hold the Saudi government liable for Al-Qaeda's attacks, in case that has been described by lawyers and the plaintiffs as a labyrinth. They're describing the case as a labyrinth. Saudi Arabia had the suit temporarily dismissed in 2015, probably paid that judge, before dismissal was overturned by a federal appeals court. Couldn't bribe all those judges, though. While the appeal was pending in 2016, Congress enacted a law known as the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, or the JASTA, which allowed victims of terror attacks to sue foreign governments and individuals if they provided material support to the attackers. It also gave U.S. courts jurisdiction over potential lawsuits filed over injuries and deaths in attacks on U.S. soil. Allegations that members of the Saudi government had links to some of the September 11 hijackers have circulated for years. The claims have drawn vehement denials from Saudi Arabia, which means absolutely nothing. They denied cutting up a reporter a couple of years ago, and they absolutely did it. And no one's gone to prison for that, unless Saudi Arabia just punitively punished one of the guys and said, that's the guy, and then he disappeared and you'll never see him again because he's off in some hidden place, but he definitely wasn't punished. Most theories have centered on 2 of the 19 hijackers. Don't forget, 18 of the 19 hijackers and 2 of the people that didn't hijack anything were from Saudi Arabia. Anyway, 2 of the 19 hijackers, Khalid al-Mindhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, may they rot in hell, who were on the plane that crashed into the Pentagon. More than a year before the hijackings, al-Mindhar and al-Hazmi settled in Los Angeles.
Sorry, that's a funny name. This guy did terrible things.
Al-Hazmi.
Yeah.
Al-Hazmi and by the nuts, basically. Because I'm a terrorist and I will have my family tortured unless I carry through with this. More than a year before the hijackings, al-Mindhar and al-Hazmi settled in Los Angeles, where a Saudi man named Ammar al-Buyomi helped them find an apartment. A 2004 report by the 9/11 Commission said that Buyomi met the 2 hijackers by chance in a restaurant. By chance, my ass. But the families of some victims and their attorneys have alleged that Buyomi had deeper connections to Saudi Arabia, citing federal reports declassified in recent years that allege he had extensive ties with the Gulf's monarchy government, who is also accused of serving as a Saudi intelligence officer. The FBI has also investigated whether the 2 hijackers got assistance from Fahad al-Thumari, an accredited Soviet diplomat. This is the guy I was talking about earlier. And imam at Los Angeles Mosque. The 9/11 Commission found no evidence that Thumari helped the hijackers. They found no evidence because they didn't look that hard. I guarantee it. They weren't looking for any connections to Saudi Arabia. If you think they were, you're fooling yourself. They were paid to look the other way. That's why they didn't reach any conclusion. Last year, a 60 Minutes report revealed that new evidence about Buyomi, including a video of him filming the entrances of the U.S. Capitol and pointing out its location relative to the Washington Monument. Why is that important? So you can see it from the sky, folks. and at some points referencing a plan. Oh, a plan? Why does a Saudi official have a plan? Investigators have long believed the capital may have been intended target of Flight 93, which crashed into a field in Pennsylvania after passengers took over to hijackers. I guess we'd only know for sure if they wouldn't have done that, right? Decades ago, investigators also found a notebook in Biomi's home that seemed to show a drawing of a plane and a mathematical equation that could be used to calculate the rate of descent to a target. Very suspicious. Many of those allegations were raised by attorneys for the victims of the September 11th attacks. Lawyers for the Saudi government have repeatedly pushed for all claims against the country to be dismissed. Of course they have. Arguing the court lacks jurisdiction. Too bad. Don't do business in the United States then. Including October 20. I'm just saying, you don't want us to have jurisdiction over you? Leave our country. Take your frickin' oil and go. We don't want it. Go, take your oil. We don't need it. We got oil. We just got to build new refineries. Plaintiffs have managed to provide the court with reasonable evidence as to the roles of Biomi, Kumari, and KSA. And KSA is probably the Saudi Secret Service, or the Saudi royal family, probably. In assisting the hijackers, KSA did not proffer sufficient evidence to the contrary, U.S. District Judge. Yeah, well, prove you didn't do it, motherfucker. U.S. District Judge in Southern District in New York, George Daniels, wrote in order Thursday. Although KSA attempts to offer seemingly innocent explanation or context, they are either self-contradictory or not strong enough to overcome the inferences that KSA had employed Boyami and Thumari to assist the hijackers. I guarantee they did. Come on, man. Daniels wrote that while the families and attorneys representing Saudi Arabia disagree on Boyami's motive, it is undisputed that Boyami assisted in finding the hijackers' apartments and signed a lease with them as a guarantor. Daniels said it is also undisputed that a notepad page with an airplane drawing, notes, and numbers was found in Boyami's home. Attorneys representing Saudi Arabia, Daniels wrote, argued that Boyami's encounters with the hijackers were coincidences. Oh.
Coincidences.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Oh, mere coincidence. They just found each other. They just bumped into each other in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's what happened. They were at a bingo. Yeah, they met at bingo. Attorneys representing Saudi Arabia, Daniels wrote, argued that Boyami's encounters with hijackers were coincidences and was simply being good-natured when he provided assistance to the hijackers. Oh, that's right. Here's a shitload of money for an apartment that you can stay in. And we won't report any of this to the federal government.
I'm going to give you government...
taking classes.
Maybe not government secrets, but very suspicious information about architecture and locations and government buildings.
And nothing suspicious, right?
Yeah, nothing suspicious about that at all.
Going to flying school. Two guys enrolled in flying school. He just happened to pay their rent. They just happened to be going to flying school. And they just happened to not be learning how to land the plane, only to power it into a building. Yeah, hell of a coincidence. I swear to God, if anybody finds these people not guilty, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to say they were paid off. That's all I got to say about that. So he was simply being good-natured. Think about this. You're an American. You go to another country. You just happen to run a couple Americans that can't afford the apartment they're staying in. And you just whip out your wallet. Hey, I'll pay for it. Nothing suspicious about that.
Yep.
The lawyers, Daniel said, claimed the airplane drawing was unrelated to 9/11 attacks and likely related to Boyami's son's high school assignments. These are all either conclusory attorney speculations not grounded in facts or self-serving denials or excuses for Boyami himself that do not withstand scrutiny. Exactly. You were trying to explain away bullshit about, oh, my kid is trying to calculate the plane's descent into a building. That's part of his math homework. Yeah, okay. That's a hell of a class you're taking there, Junior. The Saudi embassy in Washington, D.C., said the country respectively disagrees with the decision, believes it has solid grounds for appeal, and intends to pursue such an appeal. It's also known that Saudi Arabia categorically denies the plaintiff's allegations about the country, and Thursday ruling focuses on the issue of jurisdiction, not the merits of the case. Well, we got jurisdiction. Now we're going to go on the merits of the case. Just so you're wondering. We welcome the court's thorough and well-reasoned decision and look forward to moving the case forward to trial, Sean P. Carter, an attorney for representing the family, said in his statement. Kreidler and Kreidler LLP, another law firm representing September 11 victims, said the ruling ensures that the plaintiffs may continue their long pursuit of truth and justice and paves the way for those critical decisions to be fully examined at trial. The Justice Department did not immediately respond to requests for the comment. Those are your story about the Saudi Arabia trying to deny they had anything to do with the 9/11, even though they obviously did, and they've been covering it up ever since. But there's your story, my one and only first story, so I won't overburden time.
Something I'm guilty of.
It's more than I already have.
You know what they say about a coincidence? It's the word you use when you can't see the levers in the pulleys.
Ah, right.
It's a coincidence this guy was. We don't know who was sent him, right? We didn't know who told him to meet at this cafe with these guys. Right? There's no...
What did the... I'm reminded when this happens to the end of the Wizard of Oz, where they say, pay no attention to that guy behind the wall working all the devices. I am a wizard. Yeah.
Crazy coincidence. Okay.
I am a wizard. These hijackers had no material assistance except Osama bin Laden, who is from Saudi Arabia, by the way. Just letting you know.
Our next segue is
are we at
a
this
haiku.
stage in life? How are we at this stage of life where stuff that we knew in 2004 is now coming to light in a lawsuit?
Yeah. Some things,
and we went to war in
especially
Iraq.
Government things, need like 20 years before you actually get your justice or whatever, sadly.
Yep, and we went stomping into Iraq based on nothing. That's what pisses me off about all of this. All the death for no reason. Accomplished nothing. And Afghanistan also accomplished nothing. Not a thing. We got Osama bin Laden eventually, but we could have had him a long time ago before he did anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Bill Clinton tried to get him. Bill Clinton tried to get him. He was accused of wag the dog. He missed him by mere minutes. But he's bombing that to change the story. No, he's bombing that because he had a terrorist in his sights and he almost got him. That's what he did. But you Republicans moved the goalpost for everything. Now we don't even have goalposts. We don't even have a bar. The bar for president doesn't exist. It's underground. Nobody can get under it. That bar is completely buried.
Yep.
It's
in hell.
We can just elect any criminal.
The bar is in hell.
Just any criminal. Yeah.
Okay, your next segue is a haiku, so get running, or get riding, I guess.
Oh, haiku. Oh, shit, bring me a pen. I think I got a pen in my pocket.
And my next story is about Ukraine arresting us. These guys, nobody really got arrested, I guess. Did anyone get arrested for 9/11? I'm not sure. I know we executed Osama bin Laden at some point, but
no.
I don't think anyone was ever arrested.
I mean,
so unlike that case in which nobody was arrested, somebody was arrested as a suspect for the former murder of a parliamentary speaker in Ukraine. This is coming off of Al Jazeera.
Oh, wow.
A statement from the country's interior minister suggests that Saturday's killing... Saturday? Wow, this is recent. They've already have a suspect.
Yeah.
It was Saturday.
Yeah.
I probably got my dates wrong because I realized I was reading the calendar from September. Saturday was the 30th. 30th of August. Murder or killing had been carefully planned. Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky has announced that a suspect has been arrested in the murder of former parliamentary speaker Andriy Parubi, who was killed in an attack over the weekend. In a post on Telegram earlier today, on the 1st of September, Zelensky wrote that the suspect had given an initial testimony and urgent investigation actions are currently underway to establish all the circumstances of this murder. I thank law enforcement for their swift and coordinated work. All the circumstances of this horrific murder must be uncovered, he said. On Saturday, Parubi, 54, who served as speaker from the 2016 to 2019, so this guy wasn't even an active politician. He wasn't even active. Was shot dead in the western city of Lviv. He was one of the protest leaders in 13 and 14, calling for closer ties with the European Union. Uh-oh, Russia taking out some politicians? Internal Affairs Minister Ihor Klimenko wrote on Telegram on Sunday night, the 31st of August, that dozens of police officers and security officers had been involved in the operation to arrest the suspect in Khmelnytsky region of western Ukraine. According to Klimenko, the crime was carefully prepared. The schedule of the deceased movements was studied, the route was laid, and an escape plan was thought out. Some tributes from Ukraine officials to Parubi hinted at suspicions of Russian involvement in the killing. Of course, you have to. It's so easy, right? I think it's harder to prove it wasn't Russia than it is, right? Like,
Right.
how was this not Russia? You know, since Russia's invasion in 22, both sides have accused each other of assassinations of key political and military leaders. I don't know if this guy's a key in anything, though. Last time he was in the government was in 2019, so I don't know if he's a key in anything other than pushing for European ascension, which I think everyone is at this point. Except for, the Russian puppets in the Ukraine government, which exist in every country now. According to Russian state media, Parubi has been wanted for Russian authorities since 2003. For what? What did he do? As a young man, he campaigned for Ukraine's independence from the Soviet Union. He was also a key supporter of promoting the use of Ukrainian over Russian language, a highly politicized issue. No, you can't speak that language because we don't know it as well. During 14 Maidan protests following the then Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych's decision to cancel a planned association agreement with the EU due to intense pressure from Moscow, Parubi was the commander of the opposition and self-defense forces. So he did some shit in the past. Doesn't sound like he was doing anything currently in the present, but I guess they had a bounty on him and somebody wanted to collect the bounty. Because that's the world we live in now, putting bounties on people. You have a haiku?
I do. Putin kills people, either falling from windows or shot in the back.
With a planned escape plan.
Yay. I'll make my own applause.
I'm doing it now.
Okay. Okay.
Murder. My next story is not about murder. It's about more Russian interference. This is coming off of Ursula by Nicoletta Ionta and Thomas Moller Nielsen. Brussels on the 1st of September, today, accused Russia of a blatant interference attack on Ursula von der Leyen's plane after GPS jamming forced the crew to land in Bulgaria using paper maps. That's right, all of their technology was not, they had to use maps. They had to figure out the longitude and latitude, and then they had to look at the map and say, okay, we can land here in Bulgaria. We can indeed confirm that there was GPS jamming, but the plane landed safely in Bulgaria. Ariana Podesta, European Commission Deputy Chief Spokesperson, told reporters. We have received information from Bulgaria authorities that they suspect this was due to blatant interference by Russia, Podesta added, noting he is up to Sofia to investigate as the incident occurred in its airspace. In the statement, Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria, not a person, okay? Just in case you don't know your geography, Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria. In a statement, the Bulgarian government said that the GPS signal on von der Leyen's chartered flight disappeared during the plane's approach to Plovdiv airport. To ensure the safety of the flight, air traffic services immediately proposed an alternate landing approach using ground-based navigation aids, Sofia added. The ground-based navigation aids used in Bulgaria are independent of GPS systems and allow safe and reliable landing. Asked whether von der Leyen herself had been targeted, Podesta said the question should be put on the Russians. Dun dun dun. Earlier on that Monday morning, this Monday morning, Financial Times reported that a Russian interference attack forced the Commission's president's plane to land in Bulgaria using paper maps. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov denied. Of course, why are we asking? If another country who is committing sabotage just vocally says, yeah, we did it, you caught us, I will eat my foot. No country is ever going to say, that was us, we'll take credit for that one, put us on the list of crimes we've committed globally. Your information is incorrect, Peskov said in a comment on Financial Times, as reported by Russian state-owned news agency TASS. The incident comes just a week after Russian missiles caused severe damage to a delegation in Kyiv. Moscow has escalated its attack on Ukraine in recent weeks, defying Western calls for ceasefire and a U.S.-led push to reach the diplomatic settlement to the conflict. Since the attack, von der Leyen, who is now on the last day of a 4-day visit to the frontline EU countries, has labeled Vladimir Putin a predator, a dictator, and a complete asshole. I'm just kidding, she didn't say those last parts. And condemned the Russian leader's proxies for launching cyber and hybrid attacks at the bloc. The story has been updated with a statement from Bulgaria's government and the Kremlin, which doesn't really add any information other than we can confirm this happened and that Russia's denying doing anything ever. Russia doesn't do anything, okay?
Why would Russia do anything? We're just
they
little
just sit
victims of
around
everyone.
and they stare at the sky and they do nothing. Those missiles being shot at Ukraine, that's a coincidence.
Don't you know?
You got a haiku?
I do. Hold on, I have my glasses on. Got real comfortable. Oh, it says, my haiku, GPS jamming, actually an act of war, and terrorism. So it's both things. You're invading the airspace of a civilian airliner.
There's somebody behind you.
All you know is might be official government. Right. What?
Somebody opened the door behind you.
What?
I thought they wanted something.
Well,
I guess
I
later.
Maybe.
Well, that was great
Bring me
haiku,
some
and
coffee,
it
I
is
hope. If you're bringing me coffee, you can bring me coffee. I won't say no.
true.
Okay. No, but all right. On to the next haiku.
On to the next one. Let's roll the segue
Okay.
for your story.
All right. I guess I'll do my story now. There's
Now
nobody
it's
at
time
the
for
door,
me. We're having
maybe?
a haiku battle. Even though I can only write one haiku. I guess I could write 2 haikus about your story.
All right. You can do as many as you want. It's a 6 to 7 minute story. I'll try to cut down to 5.
It's a long one.
This is for newsmangabay.com. This is from Mexico. Manga Bay is probably an environmental site, I would think. Written by Maxwell Roadwin on the 28th of August in Latin America. All that details. Officials struggle with land invasions in Mexico's Balam-Cu Biosphere Reserve.
Oh, no.
That's right. This is around 450 people have crossed into Balam-Cu Biosphere Reserve this year in Mexico's southern state of Campeche, deforesting hundreds of hectares of dry tropical rainforest. Mexico's Balam-Cu Biosphere Reserve has been invaded over the past year by people trying to establish a permanent settlement. Officials are racing to remove them before more of the forest is destroyed. Around 450 people have crossed into the reserve in the southern state, clearing the forest for agriculture and cattle ranching. And this is supposed to be a core preservation zone.
Yes.
The invaders plant to settle, and will likely see deforestation and the clearing of land for crops. They may also hunt and enter the forest for subsistence. Alejandro Hernandez Sanchez, ecologicals at EcoSur, a public scientific research center, told Manga Bay. The reserve covers 409,200 hectares, or 1 million acres, of dry tropical forests. I didn't know there was such a thing as a dry tropical forest. Interesting. Just don't get a lot of rain, but it's a forest, right? And borders Calakmul Biosphere Reserve. The 2 reserves also border other protected areas in Guatemala, which in turn connect with protected areas in Belize, creating one of the largest contiguous protected areas in Mesoamerica. Hey, I love when they call this whole part of the world Mesoamerica. Gives me a sense of belonging. Balam-Cu was first established as a state reserve in 2003 and then federally recognized in 2023. In addition to Maya archaeological sites, Balam-Cu Biosphere Reserve protects important animal species like Geoffroy's spider monkey and the Jaguarandi, which I don't know what that is, a jaguarandi. It must be a cat. Sounds like a jaguar, right? As well as tree species like the Grinaldio. You know what a jaguarandu is?
Yeah, I'll look it up now, though. You continue with your story.
Sounds like a jaguar. I think it's a jaguar. I think this got to be a cat, right? And Granadillo, which is a plant, tree species, cedar, and mahogany. Many of these tree species are targeted for illegal logging and trade. Of course, yeah, let's steal some trees. I'll grow back real quick. In March, around 660 families organized into two groups appeared in the reserve, claiming they were fighting for the rights of rural communities. According to one official, asked that their name not be used due to security concerns. At first, the families deforested around 70 hectares, or 170 acres, to establish a temporary settlement. Throughout the year, more people have arrived and expanded across at least 550 hectares, or about 1,360 acres, the official said. The group came from other parts of Campeche and the states of Chiapas, Tabasco, Quintana Roo, and Veracruz, according to two officials with knowledge of the situation. More than a dozen of them are believed to be from Guatemala, crossing the border only a few hours away. They are supported by the Francisco Villa Popular Front, or the FVPF, a group that advocates against social inequality, and official Manga Bay, a representative of FVPF, worked with the families as a land manager, promised them legal plots. But they're not legal. It's a protected area. They don't get to just put shacks up and do whatever they want. There is no physical delimitation. There is no physical delimitation, Hernandez Sanchez said of the ease of entering the area. People just enter freely, and there are even roads. There have been land conflicts on the edge of the reserves in the past, but this is the first time that so many people have claimed the core zone of the reserve where forest is the most intact. The spread of illegal agriculture and cattle ranching poses public health risks, including tuberculosis, brucellosis in humans, and screwworm in cattle. Boy, I don't know what screwworm is, but I don't want it. I definitely don't want something called screwworm in my body. Screwworm can spread to wildlife and cost billions of dollars to eradicate. Kurt Duches, Deputy Regional Director of Wildlife Conservation Society, told local media. They are devastating not only ecosystems, but not only biodiversity, but also the future of many communities, the livelihoods of many people who try to subsist. He said of people illegally bringing cattle across the border. The Secretariat of Environment, Biodiversity, Climate Change, and Energy of Campeche, the state agency to help manage the reserve, didn't respond to a request for comment on the story. I wonder if he's taking bribes. I just wonder. Bribes are a big deal. And I know they're a big deal in the United States. They're a big deal everywhere.
Yeah.
One of the officials who spoke to Manga Bay said the deforestation and forest fires are almost a daily occurrence. Forest fires, sorry. No fines. Are almost a daily occurrence, and that the timber continues to move illegally through towns like La Peregrina, El Paraguas, and El Desengaño. Earlier this year, members of the Ministry of National Defense and National Commission on National Protected Areas and the Federal Attorney for Environmental Protection, or the PROFEPA, visited the invaded area of Balam Ku Biosphere Reserve and hung closure signs to deter the families. Oh no, it's a closure sign! Run for your lives! But the signs were taken down and destroyed. Well, there's predictable, according to officials with knowledge of the effort. Why don't the military just stay there and say, hey, go home? The slow response from the PROFEPA, which didn't respond to a request for comment on the story, has frustrated some officials who say the situation requires more urgency. Yeah, no shit. I don't feel like staying here, one official. I don't even feel like staying here, one official told Manga Bay of their conservation work. I feel like resigning. You filed the corresponding complaints, but beyond there's nothing more you can do as a public servant. And of course, that is the end of the story. So settlers are moving in to a forested area, destroying the crops, destroying biodiversity, bringing disease, and the government's like, I don't know, but the urgency is here. I don't see any urgency. Let's put up some signs. Anyway, there's your story. As more forest disappears for greedy assholes.
All right, I found a picture of the Jaguarandi, which
what is it?
I'm displaying on screen, but it's basically, it looks kind of like, you're right, it is a cat, but it looks like an otter cat. That's what I would say. Ooh. It looks like the combination of an otter and a cat together. And then that's what I put there.
It's probably being hunted to extinction right now. Probably being hunted to extinction right as we speak, so get used to it not being around.
Sadly,
Can I say?
yes.
Humans are stupid. Humans are stupid, greedy assholes. That hasn't changed since the dawn of time. What's your
my
what's
haiku? I have 2 haikus since you did 2 haikus.
2 haikus. Get the
You guys can vote in the comments who did the better haikus. My first one. Whispers through the trees. Fragile worlds fade in the sun. Nature's heart laid bare. Then, in the green embrace, chainsaws sing a harsh heartbeat. Whispers lost in wood. That's a double entendre there.
Gotta say, oh my god, a pretty double entendre. Next spin of the wheel.
Wow, no applauses. Thanks.
No coffee showed up at the door.
I'll play my own applause.
I did. I played applause, didn't I?
I didn't hear anything.
I said applause right after that. And I said, oh my, finished. I had applause, and then I said, "Oh my god!" right after that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Yeah, now I hear it.
Sorry.
I think what you did is you heard it. You played the preview for yourself, but you didn't play the play actually sending it out. There's 2 buttons. You can press the little sound icon, or you can play press the play button. Press the sound icon, you only hear it for yourself.
Oh my god! Yeah, I just pressed the middle, man.
Yeah, I got it. I got it this time.
Okay. All right, well, spin it for me, I guess, because you got a story.
Also, you just suddenly got really quiet. Did you put your sound down?
What?
Oh,
I don't think so. No, why?
Yeah. Suddenly you're just really quiet. That was it.
I didn't say anything.
Our next segue is more accurate metaphor simile. Or do you want to re-roll?
All right.
Huh? Okay.
No.
Why would you ask such a thing?
Oh, why would I re-roll?
It's culture news time.
One.
And we're going to talk about sushi! My favorite thing to eat unendingly until I die. I don't think I've ever gotten too full of sushi. So, but we're celebrating a Lithuanian chef who became the best sushi master in Japan, thinking and what he says is more important than a Michelin star. This is by Katarzyna Maria Skiba on Uranus Culture. World Sushi Championship is held annually in Tokyo, Japan, to promote food safety and authentic sushi cuisine. It is organized by the World Sushi Skills Institute, established with the support of the Japanese government. Gotta spread that sushi culture all over the globe. Oslo-based Lithuanian chef Eris Zapasnikas has become the first Lithuanian to be awarded the title of Best Sushi Master in the world. He beat 14 other finalists vying for the prestigious accolade. For me, a sushi master and also the first Lithuanian with such an achievement, this is of great significance. It is a direct confirmation of my skills. I will say more. For me, it is more valuable than awarding my restaurant a Michelin star, Zapasnikas said in an interview with the LRTIT portal. Yeah, it is. They didn't move to Japan. They just have the sushi competition in Japan. They still live in Oslo. They just learned sushi, the art of sushi, and then decided to go to compete to see if they could win. Zapasnikas, who runs a Michelin-starred restaurant in Norway, talked about the immense intensity of the competition last Friday on the 30th of August, 29th of August, and the strict rules that had to be followed to win. The rules are extremely strict. If someone doesn't follow them, for example, continuing to work past the allotted time, they are disqualified. Cutting your finger means losing a large number of points. Even throwing away a piece of fish you didn't use involves deduction of points. They want efficiency. They want beauty. They want you to not waste any damn food. If you can't cut a fish perfectly for your sushi, you don't deserve to win. To win the first place, each finalist had to prepare an original dish showing the full extent of their skills. At this stage, the rules are much more flexible, and we were able to show our creativity and innovation. So first you have to get through the quarterfinals and the semifinals, right? With just proving that you can cut sushi, right? You can do sushi, you can make the rice, you can roll the sushi, you can make all that nigiri correctly. But then after that, they opened it up to a more free-flowing art-based sushi. Compared to the tasks on the first day, which were very traditional and firmly rooted in classical Japanese cuisine, here we had much more freedom. The World Sushi Championship is held annually in Tokyo, Japan, to promote food safety and authentic sushi cuisine. It is organized with the World Sushi Skills Institute, established with the support of the Japanese government and its top members who sit on the competition jury. So, I wish they would have said what he did to win. You know, like,
yeah.
I don't know why they didn't.
He threw the knives without cutting himself.
He did something like, what did he do to win? He did a really cool thing. It's like, we had to do a really unique thing to win. I'm going to translate this Japanese article to English. Now the 12th year of the competition, 24 sushi chefs from 17 countries. They did preparation, sashimi, and nigiri, as well as hygiene. And then in the Creative Sushi Open, which was actually on the 22nd in August, they were also used presentations that were judged by tasting. That's his second time competing, and he won the grand prize. Overall winner was Edome Sushi, second place. Creative Sushi, first place. So he got second place in Edome Sushi, but he won the Creative Sushi. Then second place overall was first place in the Edome Sushi, second place in the Creative Sushi. From Romania, Sorin Zaharia. And then overall third place was Edome Sushi, third place, with Creative Sushi, third place, with Walter Jose dos Santos from Brazil. So no Japanese people won the competition because they probably, it sounds like you get a lot of points from Creative Sushi, like really making something creative, because he was second place in the normal sushi competition, but he got first place because he got first place in the Creative Sushi, I think. So here's the Edome Sushi. I can try to put on screen here, maybe, to show it off. Oh, I need to press the right thing. Okay. And then I'm going to put it on screen here. Sorry, this is my first time doing this, so now I have to do it. There we go. We've got our Creative Sushi. I don't know why it's so zoomed out like that.
Right. Chicken boy.
I think I can put it here.
I'm gonna send you a video.
But that's not the Creative Sushi. This is the Edome Sushi, a normal kind of sushi. Look at that rice and the eggs. Very cool. Then we've got what his actual Creative Sushi winner was. I don't really. I'd have to be the person. I'd have to be there at the competition, right? Understand why these certain things won over the others. But, it looks really cool. You've got, like, a snake. He drew a snake inside of the sushi rice, and then it's surrounded by egg. That's really cool. That's really creative. And then he created some sakura, I think, what is this called? Rice cake? Sakura rice cake sushi. There's some lemon sushi, just lemon slices on top of rice. So, there's some really good stuff in there. This is basically like saying I would buy this at a sushi restaurant, so I'm glad they gave me this. The Japanese. This was from atpress.ne.jp. That was where I think the original article about the World Sushi Japanese.
Back.
Very cool sushi art. I can't even make sushi myself, so I'm very impressed.
Really? Oh, you just take a class, right?
Yeah, you definitely can take a class.
Knife throwing class. If the twirl was nice, would it hurt yourself? You know, that kind
of stuff. That's a different thing.
Right? That's the most important thing. Not hurting anybody.
Than sushi.
I would think not hurting anybody is a major requirement. No blood from customers, please. Oh, so this leads me to a metaphor.
Yes.
A good sushi chef. A good sushi chef is like the best friend you never had. There you go. There's your metaphor.
You'll never go hungry.
That's right. A good sushi chef will feed me, man. Feed me.
And I mean, that is part of the art
food,
of
right?
sushi is like you sit down at the sushi bar and they make you sushi that you don't even ask them what you want, or they don't ask you what you want, they just feed you. Here you go. Today we have this fish available and it's nice and fresh and you're going to eat it and they're going to be happy and they're going to pay me and they're going to leave. Yeah. That's a traditional sushi show.
And don't order the fish at a steak restaurant, and I bet you can order steak at a sushi bar, especially if they have a hibachi, right?
Well, so, sometimes they make...
Not a metaphor,
it's not called hibachi, actually, in Japan, but hibachi is just grilling. That's what it means in Japan. A hibachi is literally you get one of those little hand grills and you put meat on it. They don't have hibachi in Japan.
Hibachi.
They don't exist. It's an American,
hibachi in the United States
foreign invention.
Japanese steakhouse. You sit around a big old flat griddle, and then he flips all, and you can eat your sushi too while you're sitting there watching him do the show.
You can also get steak sushi. They definitely put wagyu on rice, like a nigiri. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. But give me your metaphor.
Crab. I just did.
Oh, that was your
sushi chef is like a best friend you never had. That's my metaphor. I know it seems like a while ago. It probably slipped out of your memory because it was like 10 minutes ago. All right, so I did send you a video, so I've got that finished. It has to do with this day in history. Our final segue is
a mixed metaphor for this day in history. Bonka says he saw a video of a Chinese contest where one of the dishes is a living fish that they scaled, prepped, seasoned, and fried while it's still alive. Well, that's the freshest fish.
Oh, nothing like cruelty, huh?
Yeah.
All right, yay, cruelty.
I think at some point it dies from the shock, sadly. So.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you if you're eating something that's still alive. I'm sorry. 1838, American frontiersman William Clark on this day, who shared, the Lewis and Clark expedition. Anyway, he died on this day in 1838. So it doesn't say when he was born, but that's the day he died. 1838, William Clark passed away. 1864, the Charlottetown Conference, the first of a series of meetings that ultimately led to the formation of the Dominion of Canada, convened at Charlottetown in Prince Edward Island. And they said, let's have a country and let's call it Canada. And everybody said, hear, hear. And it was all downhill from there. 1870, the French army suffered a decisive defeat at the Battle of Sedan. It was a bunch of cars fighting each other. No, I'm just kidding. In the Franco-German War, leading to the fall of France's Second Empire. It was probably the end of Napoleon's running things. Or it might have been the end of a king. I'm not exactly sure in my French history. 1875, American novelist Edgar Rice Burroughs, who was best known for Tarzan, was born. So, the Tarzan guy. That guy. Edgar Rice Burroughs. 1914, the last known passenger pigeon died at the Cincinnati, Ohio Zoo. Passenger pigeons once filled the skies of North America. And when I say filled the skies, passenger pigeons would... I wasn't alive for this, obviously, because the last one died in 1914. But only a few years previous, passenger pigeons, when they migrated, you could look up in the sky and not see the sun for 2 or 3 days as they flew over your little piece of land. That's what they say. You would see, and people just shot them out of the sky, right? Free food, bam, 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 free food. So they were exterminated for that reason. And I think that is the only reason. They just said they were pests. So whatever. Humans think the planet's just for us and us alone. Also on this day, not all humans, of course, 1923, on this day, a great earthquake struck Tokyo, Yokohama metropolitan area. The death toll from that shock was 142,800 people. Holy shit, that's a lot of people from one earthquake.
That's not a small one.
When you're in the ring of fire, that's the shit that happens to you. 1930, the Young Plan, the second renegotiation of Germany's World War I reparation payments went into effect. I don't think they made any payments after 1930. Just Hitler said, fuck that, we ain't doing shit. Come get your payments. That's what he said. So it was basically useless. 1951, Australia, New Zealand, and the United States signed the ANZUS Pact, which means that we're all on the same side. Hey, everybody! United States, Australia, United States, USA, Australia, New Zealand, sorry. We're all together in something. 1952, Life magazine published Ernest Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea. Imagine that. You could have an Ernest Hemingway novel in a magazine. You don't even have to buy it. And then, Life magazine published his last major work of fiction. It was also released as a book, and in 1953, it won a Pulitzer Prize. The Old Man and the Sea. It's about the old man, an old man, and the sea.
Wow, thanks.
I'm giving it away, I know. I'm giving away secrets here. 1952, Rear Window was released in American theaters, starring Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. It became a film classic, of course, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, as Jimmy Stewart sees a murder from his rear window, and the rest of it is a psychological drama. 1969, a group of young army officers led by Muammar al-Gaddafi deposed the king and made Libya a republic of dictatorship. But that's about it, because Gaddafi was kind of a scumbag. 1972, Bobby Fischer defeated Boris Spassky to become the first native-born American to hold the title of world chess champion. Bobby Fischer, legendary, I would call him probably on the spectrum, right? Just a chess genius, but unable to deal with people in any way, shape, or form. 1980, due to poor health, Canadian activist Terry. Yeah, you feel like you're a chess champion? Well,
not dealing with people. Winning
chess champion.
No, it was not dealing with people. Anyway.
Yeah, studies show the more intelligent you are, the less tolerance you have for people, because it's like, oh my God, this guy's going to drag me down.
This guy's an idiot. I don't want to talk to him.
I already know. Right?
Yeah, I'm just so smart. Everyone around me is an idiot compared.
It's like the alpha male argument. It's like, there's alpha males everywhere. I'm like, where are they? I haven't met any. I've been everywhere that I could possibly go in this world. I was in the Marine Corps, for crying out loud. I spent all my last 20 years as a contractor around all these supposed leaders of the military and shit. I haven't met an alpha male yet. I haven't met anybody. Just wasn't an ordinary person. So anyway, that's the stupid arguments I drag myself into. And they go, you don't have any life experience. Maybe, but I know I probably got more than you. 1980, due to poor health, Canadian activist Terry Fox, who had part of his leg amputated because of cancer, was forced to end his marathon of hope and run across Canada to raise money for cancer research. It was later discovered, boy, this is a bummer of a story. It was later discovered that he had cancer, spread to his lungs, and he died in 1981. So that's really shitty news. I don't want to, that's really terrible. People still getting cancer, of course, because there's money in cancer, right? There's money in it. You're a doctor. You want to cure stuff? No, you want to keep it coming back. 1985, in a search led by the American oceanographer Robert Ballard, the wreck of the Titanic was found in ocean floor at depth of about 13,000 feet, and it was way too late to save anybody. So a little bit late, but they found it. They found where it went down, and of course, a year or so, a little bit later ago, some people went down there to look at it in some treacherous man-made thing that exploded, the Titan. And that was a big mistake. To go look at, wreckage. There's nothing down there but wreckage. There's nothing worth saving, bringing back. Just let it be. 2004, Chechen rebels seized a school in Belsin, North Ossetia, Russia. The siege, which ended 2 days later, resulted in the deaths of more than 330 people, the majority of them children. Because Vladimir Putin was in charge of trying to rescue those children, he said, fuck the children, we're just going to kill terrorists, and who gives a shit who dies? So that's what happened. The Chechens didn't try that shit again. Well, we'll give them that, but
mostly
it killed a lot of children.
They've been erased as a group of people.
Right, because
they don't exist anymore. Sorry.
Vladimir Putin gives zero. Vladimir Putin gives zero fucks about collateral damage, as he's proven time and again. Our featured event, 1939, Germany invaded Poland on this day. We were talking about this earlier with Finland, and what if Finland had just acquiesced to freaking Russia? They would have probably never been invaded. Who knows? But anyway, the lethal combination of German blitzkrieg tactics, French and British inactivity, and Soviet perfidy Oh, I love that word. Perfidy. Go ahead. We don't care about Poland. Doomed Poland to swift defeat after Hitler invaded the country on this day in 1939 and sparked World War II. It really turned into World War II when he turned on Russia and decided to invade them too. That's when it really turned into World War II. Our featured biography is Carlo Gambino, American crime boss, as Britannica just can't let us go with the criminals. He was born on September 1st, 1902. Happy 123 to this dead guy. He died October 15th in 1976, age 74 in Massapequa, New York, which is out in Long Island. I'm not even sure he was killed or not. He was 74. Kind of a ripe old age for a mafia guy. Other birthdays today, Rocky Marciano, American boxer, 1923, the first person, I don't know if it's happened since, to retire undefeated as heavyweight champion, never lost. Rocky Marciano. 1935, C.G. Ozawa, Japanese-American conductor, not a conductor of a train. I'm an orchestra guy. Point that out. He's turning 90 today. 1938 is a birthday of Alan Dershowitz, American lawyer and scumbag. O.J. Simpson lawyer who's basically pals with Epstein. He's an Epstein pal. He's probably been an Epstein plane more than Epstein himself. So that's scumbag. Defender of Trump and all things fascist.
More scumbags for us to talk about, I guess.
Defender of Netanyahu, too. So yeah, just a scumbag. 1950, also the American psychologist Phil McGraw, not Dr. Phil, not that guy. Is that Dr. Phil's birthday? Yeah, it is. It is Dr. Phil's birthday. So
it is that guy. Correction, it is that guy.
American psychologist and huckster Phil McGraw, who recently declared bankruptcy. Somebody was stealing your money. That's funny. Anyway, there's your birthdays.
Personality.
There's your birthdays. And our National Day calendar is quite packed for today. Besides National Labor Day, which it is in America. I did send you a video having to do with Chicken Boy, National Chicken Boy, which I had to look it up. I know I saw this last year, but I had to refresh my memory. So National Chicken Boy, we'll look into that in our video. It's also National No Rhyme Nor Reason Day. I guess it's a day it shows me a picture of oranges, right? So I'm just saying, this is the day for words that nothing rhymes with, which actually there are words that do rhyme with orange, but you got to look at Eminem will tell you. But I think that's what today is. No words. It's the word for words that have no rhyming words. So if you know a bunch of words like that, supposedly orange has no word that rhymes with it. Labor Day, we already covered. It's Labor Day in America, the day where we celebrate organized labor. We take a day off to go. Employers are only as good as the people that work for them, and the people that don't treat their employees right are garbage. And you can tell from the start, by the way, which I did for my last job, I am not going to stay here long. I can see this already. I do not like being treated like I'm a secondhand loser who I'm lucky to have a job. And that's why they treated me like that. So I was like, okay, fuckers, I'm out of here. National Burnt Ends Day. If you're like me, you love the overcooked stuff on the grill. You eat that first. It's like, let's sample it. And there's National Pastor's Spouses Day. What's a pastor? That's just some guy that says, I'm a God boy or a God girl. And if they have a spouse, it's their day to put up with, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what a pastor is worth other than, not even a person that even went to a religious school. It's just somebody that decided they were the pastor. And that's me. I can do that tomorrow if I wanted to. Hey, look at me, I'm a pastor. So
are you sure you don't have to get a license to be a pastor? That's crazy.
I can't imagine you would. Maybe I imagine the license is probably just a fee, right?
The fact that I don't know means that you wouldn't ask anyways, right? You would just trust if somebody's a pastor that they are allowed to be, right? The fact that I wouldn't even ask.
I go on through that Bill Burr's famous comment is like he was dating this girl and let's go see a pastor, and he's like, that's just some guy. He's younger than me. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything from me more than me. He's just some guy up there talking. That's all it is. You're calling him some kind of authority. He's just talking. He's nothing special. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to rip on all pastors. It's just me. You have no secrets that you're going to reveal to me. I'm sorry. I just don't understand. I don't understand the preoccupation with having some dude tell you stuff. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. It's National Acne Positivity Day. Just because you got acne doesn't mean you got to live in a closet. Everybody's got skin problems. Jeez, everybody does. You're not alone.
Yeah, all those people who
National
don't have them are
Forgiveness
rich,
Day.
and they have no stress in their life, okay? And you should not compare yourself to them.
Yeah, rich people are basically subhuman. They're only care about themselves. They are. I mean, I don't know. What are we supposed to glorify rich people for? For being greedy? I don't get it. And it's National Forgiveness Day. Also, that's our last thing we're going to talk. Oh no, second to last, because it's National Hotel Employee Day. Also, it's those 8 things I just listed. National Forgiveness Day. Forgive everybody. Be nice to the hotel people. Be nice to the pastor's spouse, I guess, just in case they're, I don't know, in horrible shape or something. Eat those burnt ends. Forget about your acne. Try to find words that don't rhyme. It's Labor Day, and it's National Chicken Boy Day. So those are your days, your mispronunciation, your technical glitches, me getting up and going to the bathroom in the middle of the show, all that stuff. For September 1st, 2025, on Before Burnt Ends. Burnt ends.
My mouth is watering already. Okay, I have a mixed metaphor for you, mouth. And it goes like this. Germany invading Poland was like a fish out of water in a foreign land.
Hope you heard that one.
Not even the same people, man. Not even the same. Yeah, we're gonna free Poland, and we're gonna colonize it. Yeah. Good job, Germany, or not. Vanka says being a pastor and being a marriage agent, legal representative, or marriage counselor are all different things. But for some reason, pastors are doing that. This is a thing. Yeah. This is a real thing for some people who are religious. You have to have permission to get married from your pastor or your whatever. The father or whatever. They have to go, you have to get married in order to get married in a church, right? If you're not religious, this doesn't really matter. But if you want to get married in a church, you have to meet with the guy who's going to marry you. You have to have marriage counseling with this person so that they are sure that you're sure you want to get married, because they take marriage very seriously, right? It's not only just a contract, but you're telling God that you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. And in a lot of cases, they won't marry you if they don't think that you have to find another one. You have to go to a different church because they won't allow you to get married. You have to keep shopping around with different pastors until one agrees for you guys to get married. But
and a lot of religions,
I've never done it. A lot of religions
are a front for child. A lot of religions are front for child prostitution.
Oh yeah, like children marriages. Yeah.
Right. It's just like, so again, I'm.
There's some countries that force you to actually go through it, like law-wise. They need a pastor or somebody to sign off saying these guys are allowed to get married. So yeah, in a way, if a 14-year-old is getting married to a 20-year-old, and the pastor signs off of it, that's state-mandated child marriage. In a way.
Yeah. And pastors really looking at there's no regulation, no laws. It just depends on what the religion you're following is. Yeah. So if somebody's sick for a pastor, it's like, whatever, it doesn't mean anything. It's my religion decided that. What is your religion? And it's the religion of whatever you call it.
It's not state mandated, so yeah.
Yeah, religions are a scam. It's a tax dodging scam. They should be paying taxes because they totally influence our government. So that's my thing about pastors. They get too much power, and religions have too much power, and I don't have anything there's nothing to prove that any of the stuff they say is actually true. Not one thing they say has ever been proven anywhere, and they get special rights. Whatever. Yeah. The human race failing since it was invented, basically.
There are no international UN observances today, or mostly this week. So this has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the US as we finish off a Mucking Fonday.
Yeah.
We're surviving Monday, and I hope you survive Monday too, now that you know everything that's gone on over the weekend. And today, tomorrow is Good Tuesday, which we're going to cover all the good and positive news you need to know about so that you don't give up on humanity like Roger has. We'll see you guys for that. So make sure you're following or subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you know when we go live.
Give me a reason. Give me a reason to believe in humanity. Give me one reason.
He needs a reason.
Just any reason.
And we're going to have maybe 4 reasons for you tomorrow. So
maybe.
Here is our chicken boy-based mic drop moment.
Yeah, in case you were wondering about the national day
what the hell's
calendar.
a chicken boy?
During its heyday, Route 66 offered not only beautiful scenery, but also
this is an interesting
stop along the way. Chicken Boy, a fried chicken restaurant in Los Angeles, was one of the most
I'm hungry for
famous
chicken
roadside
now.
attractions. This
I'm having
a giant
shrimp
statue
today,
of a man with a chicken's head that welcomed visitors to the City of Angels. But
it's a guy with a chicken head. We've drove down Route 66.
Went out of business.
Yeah, it goes right through Albuquerque.
Who was headed for the trash heap in 1984.
Oh God, I thought those were people. I was so scared, like people falling out of a trash can.
Now installed on a rooftop, this icon.
There might be a body in there.
So
Chicken Boy was outside of Los Angeles.
Celebrate this blast from the past.
Delicious.
Some wings or fried chicken.
Everybody loves it except the chickens themselves.
If you are a meat eater, go ahead and celebrate Chicken Boy Day and wear a rooster on your head.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.